So, Nick, being the only two wrestling fans here who actually, you kind of care about wrestling, WrestleMania is coming up soon. What you thinking so far?
Yeah, the build up to WrestleMania 40 been very interesting to say the least, especially regarding the top storyline of it all, which Bloodline versus Cody and Seth Rollins, which has really become The Rock overshadowing Roman Reigns at his own game. Not that I'm complaining, because The Rock's been awesome as of late, and it's been great seeing The Rock finally unleash Hollywood Rock for the first time in 2 decades. So yeah, even outside of that, there's a lot to like with this WrestleMania that looks very promising.
Yeah, and the number one thing that I think that's been really drawing me in recently, other than like the storyline of Cody versus the Bloodline, is that this is like the first WrestleMania where I don't feel like there's a real I don't really care about it kind of match. I
Yeah.
think this is the first time in a while we've actually got something substantial,
Mm-hmm.
which brings us to the topic of this video. Our predictions for WrestleMania 40. Now, we are recording this right after we just did our podcast and right after SmackDown just wrapped up. And I think we have a new match for the card. It's Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi versus who again?
Damage control.
Right. So that should be interesting. But first, yeah, real quick, WrestleMania 40. The fact that it's WrestleMania 40 is just really shows how far the WWE has come since the mid 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really shocking that we're at 40 and this is just it's weird because I started watching wrestling when WrestleMania 30 came out. When my stepfather finally came into my life and introduced me to wrestling. And it's been on and off a lot, but I think it's starting to really come around this go around. So yeah, but first, we have some matches that we should talk about first. I think we should save the Bloodline match for last because that's going to be the interesting part of it all,
Yeah.
and that includes the Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and all that stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
is there a specific match you want to start off with?
Um, Honestly, I feel like I'll let you pick. Whichever match you want to start off with, I'll let you pick.
I think we should get the singles, like the non-championship matches, done out of the way. First
Alright.
things first. The most interesting match, LA Knight versus AJ Styles.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I mean, you have one of the most over guys, and what some people are calling LA Knight to just be Diet Dwayne, and then AJ Styles, who's he's been grinding here for a while now. So I don't know. I haven't been keeping up much with that storyline, but I could tell that this has the potential to be a really good match. But what are your thoughts?
Well, I will say with LA Knight versus AJ Styles, it's definitely been a match that I think on paper would have been very interesting, but the way that they have built up this feud to this point has definitely made it a lot more interesting, because obviously you had the segment where LA Knight invaded AJ Styles' house and ended up getting arrested, where they had the police cameras showing, which was pretty humorous in my opinion, and then you had tonight where LA Knight surprise attacked AJ Styles while dressed as a security guard, which I've already seen people post the comparison with the infamous image of LA Knight standing behind CM Punk as a security guard stand-in. So yeah, but honestly, overall, I'm very interested in this feud for sure. LA Knight versus AJ Styles has the potential to be a great match. I honestly think with how this feud has been built, I think it would be very ideal if WWE possibly gave this match like a stipulation, because it's very clear these two guys absolutely fucking hate each other. Like, they despise each other.
Yeah, in terms of the storyline, this is one of the classic. Just two guys don't get along at all. I would like to see a stipulation, like maybe it's a last man standing match, or maybe falls count anywhere,
Yeah.
or backstage brawl. I think either of that would be pretty good. But I
Hmm.
don't know if that's really into AJ Styles' MO because he is a more in-ring guy. He doesn't do a lot of out-of-ring stuff.
Yeah.
LA Knight, he is a little tricky, but like I don't know. But this match is going to be it compared to it stacking up against the rest. It does seem like kind of one of the like a match suited for like day two mid card. But I don't know. I think it'll still be an entertaining match.
Yeah.
But let's get to predictions, Nick. So who are you taking?
For the win, I am taking LA Knight. I just think LA Knight, it'd be a huge moment for him, even if it's not him gaining a title, for him to win this match over someone like AJ Styles would be a massive boost for him. By the way, I also want to say I'm interested in seeing how the entrances will be for these two, because I already know it's been reported that AJ Styles is probably going to be getting new music at WrestleMania, which, for the love of God, please do not let Def Rebel touch it. And I've heard the rumors about LA Knight. I've heard WWE possibly wanting. Granted, it's just rumors, but there's been rumors about Usher possibly performing "Yeah" for LA Knight, which I think would be based, especially if you somehow get Lil Jon involved.
I think that is a realistic option, especially considering Usher. He just performed at the Super Bowl. You really think he's gonna say no to WrestleMania,
Yeah.
probably the second or third biggest sporting event in the USA? I honestly, I like it, but you're going with LA Knights. And I think I agree with you. I think you got to put LA Knight over right now. He is still one of your youngest and most exciting superstars. And I get AJ Styles is once more going to get another like uh kind of nothing match at WrestleMania, which I do want to say, while I am a little bit disappointed that AJ Styles and Nakamura in the past I almost said Super Bowls, in the past WrestleManias didn't really live up the standard. At least AJ Styles has made events at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I feel people need to put a little bit respect more.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're both going LA Knights, which means AJ Styles. Congrats on the victory, and but yeah, you're up next, Nick. What do you want to do?
Well, in terms of staying on the topic of singles matches that also aren't for the titles, actually, you know what? I might save this one because while it's not as big as Roman Cody or the Bloodline match, it is still technically a part of the Bloodline story. So I'll save this match for later. However, there is a match that I'm very interested in talking about that could be very chaotic. I am talking about the triple threat match for the U.S. title between Logan Paul, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens.
Yeah, that I might that one I think might be the sneaky match of the night that really creeps up on everyone afterwards. Like looking back on it, like yeah, that was a really good match. Logan and Owens have been having a feud for a while where Logan just is being a complete troll and Kevin Owens is just like tired of his bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm still a little bit surprised they threw Randy Orton in there, but like he's another great in-ring worker. And plus, after all, Logan's gonna get RKO'd in an insane spot.
Yeah.
Or, or there's gonna be another KSI incident, which look, I'm just saying you can't come out in the prime bottle again.
Yeah.
If KSI is gonna come out, he's just gonna be in his street clothes. But yeah, really not much like storyline wise. It's another two guys that just hate each other and a good in-ring performer thrown in, but it should be a good match. I will say this too. I'm glad that the United States title is starting to, start to make the runarounds as the part-timer title instead of, the WWE Championship. Because I'm fine with part-timer champs as long as they're not on the main card.
Mhm.
So I think if you do have Logan continue to be a part-time champ, I'm fine with him holding the WWE United States Championship for a while. But got anything else you want to say before we get into predictions?
No, I think that sums it up well.
All right. Well, since you chose it, I'll let you pick. Uh, oh wait, did I? No, I have to pick first because yeah. In my case, with Logan Paul and all this SummerSlam talk coming up, there's two ways I think that's going to go down. I can see two paths. One, Logan retains the title and then comes down to SummerSlam, and he's in the main event defending the United States Championship against Kevin Owens. Maybe they want to say screw it and bring in. Maybe they want to be funny and bring in MJF or something. But I also see the reverse timeline where Logan does lose, and they try setting him up for a big match at SummerSlam where it's Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul, or it's Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul, or maybe even Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. I get they already did that at WrestleMania, but look, if you strike gold once, you're gonna strike gold again.
Mhm.
But I don't know. This is a hard one. I will. I think. I think Kevin Owens wins, and I will also add a added prediction that KSI gets RKO'd.
Yeah, I could definitely see KSI getting RKO'd. Now as for who I think will win, honestly, given how the story's been set up and given how close KO came to winning at the Royal Rumble, would have won had the referee not been smart for the first time in their lives and noticed that KO was having the brass knuckles. However, I think Kevin Owens finally gets his revenge, and Kevin Owens will be the new U.S. champion walking out of WrestleMania.
Yeah, just that seems like the most sense. I wonder where they're gonna put it though. I don't feel like having that be the opener is the smart idea. I think probably somewhere in the mid card is the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So far, we both have the same picks, but this next one, I think we'll have various opinions. The six pack tag team ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Champions with Judgment Day versus DIY versus the Awesome Truth versus the New Day versus A Town Down Under versus New Catch Republic. This seems like this is going to be a great match.
Yeah. Great match and absolute chaos in the making.
I mean, WWE does not miss with their ladder matches at all. After
Mm,
all, I think was it WrestleMania 17 or 16 where they opened with a ladder match and out came the Hardy Boys. Like
um,
they
let's see, was it 17 or was it 16? Because I know I know they both had matches. I know they had matches like that at both Manias, but let's see. I think was it 16 where it opened?
36 or 37, I don't remember. Because New Day was hosting. I
Oh,
think
oh yeah, the New Day hosting one. That was 33.
33, that's the one I'm thinking of then. All right. But yeah, essentially this is going to be a great match in all, but honestly, you could put the tag titles on anyone here. It, it's hard to really say there's going to be it's hard to say that there's not a good contender. I guess in this case, what is one team you think that is just it's not going to happen at all, that they're not going to win?
Um, Honestly, if I had to pick any team that I think has the least likely odds, I think A-Town Down Under. I don't think Fury and Waller will get the job done.
Yeah, I was thinking so too. It's just Austin Theory and Grayson Waller are both really talented on the mic and in the ring, but I feel like they're kind of stuck in the we don't know what we're gonna do with them right now kind of territory.
Yeah.
But going on to our actual predictions, Nick, what do you think?
Damn, it is tough because there's so many options here, but also there's multiple ways I can see WWE going with this in terms of, who you want to win, like who would make the most sense. However, I will say I don't think the Judgment Day are gonna retain here. So honestly, see, on one hand, the two I'm thinking of is either DIY because it would make a lot of sense for Triple H booking this to finally give his guys, the guys who rewarded him for so long, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, both the title. It would be a very fitting move right here, and I think it would be a great move. However, you also have to consider the Awesome Truth is here, and don't get me wrong, it would be kind of humorous, but also kind of a feel good moment to see R-Truth holding a title, along with winning it with The Miz. But honestly, I'm gonna go DIY.
Okay. I felt like you were on the right path too. Uh, DIY, Awesome Truth. I also think the New Day has a slight chance too. The WWE really wants to be super, super safe with their win,
Yeah, can
but
never rule them out.
but I don't know. I feel like they're building way too much for R-Truth and the Miz to not win right now. I think it's finally time that Miz has his babyface WrestleMania moment. Because he's had a lot of heel moments and everything, but this he hasn't had a real babyface moment. And I feel, against the Awesome Truth would really just make a lot more sense. Plus, you have to weaken the Judgment Day right now because I'm sorry, but putting JD McDonough out there and just getting washed by every single person doesn't make the Judgment Day any weaker. It just makes them look a little bit incompetent because why is he on the team if he's that like bad?
Like, what does he
Honestly,
even do?
JD McDonough could come out and ruin R-Truth's chance. That is a possibility. And then maybe we get a Judgment Day versus the Awesome Truth, like, mini rivalry where it goes on for a couple of pay-per-views or premium live events. But going back on topic, I'm going to go with the Awesome Truth. I feel this is way too perfect for R-Truth's moment. He doesn't have a lot more years left in the wrestling business. And if he's going to get like his actual WrestleMania moments for a guy that stuck it out for the longest of times, I feel like now's the time.
Yeah.
But yeah. Um I think I picked the ladder match. Yes. So, well, what do you want to go with next?
Let's see. Um, yeah, I've been thinking about, because I think we've done some singles matches. We've done a singles match. We've done a triple threat. We've done a chaotic ladder match. I think we could possibly do some women's matches. I think we could probably do one. So, I think we'll do the match that was just announced tonight on SmackDown. I think that'd be a good one to pick. Which,
Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi versus Damage Control.
yep.
Thoughts?
Um, yeah, there's two ways I can see this match going. However, there's one that feels far more likely than the other, and that is you make the baby faces look strong. You have this, top shot, this hot, debut coming in. This really one of the top debuts for a women's wrestler in, well, probably since this last couple of weeks. But genuinely, there is a lot of momentum riding here in terms of, Jade, Bianca, and Naomi. There's a lot of momentum here for them. However, I'm interested in seeing how things, get handled here versus Damage Control. I'm very interested in seeing how this goes. Because the two ways I see this going is you have the baby faces when you make Jade look very strong, which I think in either scenario is going to happen. Or they pull a twist where Bianca Belair turns on Jade Cargill, which I don't think is going to happen here, but I think it's going to happen at some point, and we're going to get a match between Bianca and Jade. But I don't see that happening here.
Honestly, I agree. I think Bianca Belair is going to turn heel soon. But I don't think it happens at Mania. I think maybe it happens at Money in the Bank where, after the match, maybe Jade costs Jade has cost the title, not the title, the Money in the Bank due to Bianca. Uh, but yeah, it's I know. I have to go first, so I think this is just a losing battle for Damage Control, regardless of how it comes out. I think they're going to be. I think they're either going to show that they're weak or they're going to become hated. So I would rather them become weak. So I'm going to say Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi get the win.
Yeah, and I'd have to agree with that. I think unless WWE ends up pulling the twist earlier than people expect, then I think outside of that, they're going to win this match. So our predictions are the same here.
Yeah. Well, this next one we'll get someone else because I'm going to end up choosing Io Sky versus Bailey for our next match, and I've seen a lot of people really upset that Cody, Seth, Roman, and The Rock stole this from being a main event.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you're going to blame anyone, blame The Rock. If he doesn't come back, then Seth and McIntyre probably are the second to last event in night two, or the second last event in night one. But you know, it would make sense for Bailey to win, but there's always a what the hell moment when it comes to Mania. And from all the stuff that we've talked about so far, I don't think we've had our what the hell moments. So, I don't know. What's your opinion on it?
Yeah, I'm very divided on who I think would win this match, but the build-up is very clear. Damage Control, turned on Bailey. Got her moment at the Royal Rumble. Now, could she get her moment at WrestleMania by beating Io Sky, that remains to be seen. However, it's just, I am very, like, divided on who I think will win this match, because, like, I get the argument for either side in terms of who should win this match. Do you want, Bayley to finish her story, or do you want Io to remain the champion? Like, I understand both sides of the argument here in terms of how this match should be booked and how it should be finished, but I don't know. This is one of those matches where it's like, damn, I could see either result happening here.
Well, you get first pick, so
Yeah.
what do you think?
Hmm. I don't know. There is just something telling me Io's gonna win this match. Something's just telling me she's gonna retain. And whether that's against the story that Bayley's having or not, like, I don't know. Something just tells me, like, they're gonna want to keep the belt on her, regardless of how, the rest of Damage Control looks at Mania.
Yeah, I think I think Io Sky has a pretty high chance to do it, but I think if Cody retain, okay, this is separate from everything for later, but I think if Cody ends up winning, I think Bailey's going to end up winning. After all, those two were being pushed after the Rumble really hard of being really buddy buddy after winning it. So I think if one of them wins, the other one wins, and this isn't going to influence my pick later on. But honestly, I think Bailey takes it. I think Bailey wins.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you get next pick.
Yeah, and I will keep it on the topic of women's wrestling because we are now taking Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. And yeah, I mean, I will say, like, I definitely feel like in terms of challengers to Rhea, this is probably the strongest one for sure. But I mean, I've liked parts of the build up here. I will say Becky slapping Dominic was pretty funny if you ask me. However, overall, this is a match where I'm like, I get the feeling this is gonna be a great match. These are two great competitors who, are easily great in the ring. They will put on a great show at the biggest show of the year. However, this is also a match where it's like, yeah, this feels like it's gonna be a great match, but I know who's winning this.
Yeah, yeah, and I think honestly we don't need predictions. Let's just say it on three. One, two, three. Rhea
Rhea
Ripley.
Ripley, yeah.
It's just look. This is I love Rhea. She is a great competitor in everything. It's going to be impossible to find someone to take her over. And this is no offense to Becky Lynch, because she is a great wrestler in her own.
Mm-hmm.
But Becky does not have enough build up to do it. Becky does not have the Cody Rhodes build up. And I don't think this is a big enough moment for Rhea to lose the title, especially since Rhea has been booked so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's gonna be hard.
Yeah,
I think the real question is who would be the next person to take it
yeah,
from Rhea.
honestly, because it's gonna depend on how it goes, but like right now, if you had to ask me, is there anyone in the company that you could see, dethroning Rhea at some point? The only person I'd say who has that potential right now is Jade Cargill, and I don't see that happening for a while if she ever crosses paths with Rhea to even get to that. So, like, Rhea right now just has, like, in terms of just who the bigger star is right now, being Like, honestly, for as big as Roman and Cody are, like, Rhea Ripley is right up there with them in terms of popularity. Like, she is the face of the women's division, not just in WWE, but I'd say wrestling right now.
Yeah, just Rhea. This might go a little bit off topic, but I feel like it should be discussed. Rhea has just been booked so perfectly for a women's wrestler. We haven't seen anything like this in like forever, and it's really good that women are going to be booked like this in the future. And you love to have a problem where you don't have a wrestler over enough to take Rhea's title. And it's crazy to see her run. And you can say as much as you want, oh, Dominic helps her out too much, or oh, Dominic's cheesy, or anything like that. If that was the case, then why is Dominic one of the most loved, quote unquotes, in terms of like how the entire fan base feels about him?
Yeah.
Like, how is he one of the most loved wrestlers? Like, it's like what Michael Cole said. People whine about Roman Reigns, beat him. People whine about Rhea Ripley, beat her.
Mm-hmm.
Find someone to beat her.
Yeah.
But yeah. Since you went down the line with Rhea Ripley, before we get to the like the real meat and potatoes of this match, we still have one more to go over, and this one I feel is going to divide us both because I feel like the both of us have very conflicting opinions about this, and that's Gunther versus Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
This is, I think this is the one of the harder matches to really put because it's the Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley thing where Sami Zayn he's not as over as he was last year, and Gunther is just too unstoppable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on this?
It's similar to Rhea versus Becky. However, it's also like, it's like I just get the feeling like WrestleMania, if you're gonna have Gunther, lose at some point, this would be the perfect time. However, for as great of a wrestler as beloved as Sami Zayn is, I don't think he should be the guy to end that reign. I mean, I'm sure everyone agrees, regardless of whether you like, Sami Zayn or not, regardless of how you like it's gotten here. I feel like it should have been Chad Gable in this situation. And I feel like if we were talking about Gunther versus Chad Gable, I'd be having a lot more thoughts about the fact that this might be the time he ends up losing the IC title. But honestly, I just don't think it's meant to be right now.
Yeah, and honestly, I do want to sit here and I do want to say Chad Gable really is the biggest trooper of the WWE. Being in the Alpha Academy gimmick for since the Jason Jordan era.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, I have always felt bad for him since that's happened because I don't want to go off into a tangent, but what were they thinking with Jason Jordan being Kurt Angle's son?
Yeah, that was good lord, that was definitely that was something. I mean, not to mention with Chad Gable, don't forget the abomination known as Shorty G.
Uh, Not to mention too with Chad Gable, it's like the man got Otis after the WWE misused him so badly. Like I get Otis is still a really funny and quirky wrestler, but if you put Chad Gable with like prime 2020 2021 Otis, then that would have been so great for him. But
Mm-hmm.
the fact of the matter is, Otis is just a big laughing stock now,
Yeah.
and Otis is queso.
Yeah. Basically.
But yeah, I, what do you pick?
I'm picking Gunfa.
You know, oh God, I have to pick Sammy. I don't know why. Something is telling me that that uh something's just telling me, even though all the signs are saying Sammy's gonna lose, Sammy's not gonna retain, or Sammy is just not put up yet. I just feel Sammy's gonna win it somehow.
Mm.
But, well, after this, we have four matches left. Would you like to do would you like to do the non-bloodline match out of the way, or would you rather do the weakest of the bloodline match out of the way?
I think in terms of how this mania is gonna go, I probably want to get this one out of the way first in terms of these four matches. So, first off, I think it would be best to start off with Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso.
Yeah, if LA Knight and AJ Styles needed a stipulation, this one definitely needs a stipulation.
Yeah,
This is this is a very very hard match
yeah,
because I can see this go a couple ways. You could make Jade look weak, so that way, if it is bloodline rules, Cody looks a lot more hopeless. But you also could make Jay look strong, and you could also do the same thing for Jimmy. You could make Jimmy look really weak, or you could make Jimmy look really strong. It's just, I think this is one of those uh, what side of the bed I wake up kind of things.
mm-hmm, yeah. And honestly, regarding this, like, this is a match that I feel like, considering everything that's, led up to all of this, it's definitely something that should use a stipulation. I will say, though, I'm kind of surprised. I know this was there was a point where this was planned last year after the SummerSlam debacle until apparently he leaked it out that he was doing this and WWE was pretty mad at him. There was a point where there was gonna be a Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso match last year where Rikishi was gonna be the special guest referee, but for aforementioned reasons, it didn't happen, which honestly, I will say, I think Rikishi being a special guest referee here would actually be, it would make a lot of sense here considering this is relating to the bloodline, even if it is getting overshadowed by, The Rock, Cody, and Roman, but still, I mean, honestly, this is a match where I definitely feel like, given how long, like, Jay and Jimmy have both they both stated in the past that they have wanted a singles match between them at some point in their careers at WrestleMania, and, well, now they got that opportunity, and I'm very interested in seeing how it ends up turning out.
Yeah, I mean, Rikishi as a special guest referee would be kind of fire. It's just this is the hardest one because honestly, give me Jimmy.
Hmm, that is fair. Um, Personally, I'll go with Jay. I mean, I just think the way WWE's built him, in the past couple of months, like ever since he's gone solo again, I mean, I could see Jimmy winning, but honestly, I feel like it would make the most sense to have Jay win this, regardless of what happens with Cody and Seth and the Bloodline later on. I just think in terms of, in terms of how things have been trending, I think Jay would make the most sense. But yeah, this is going to be a back and forth match for sure.
Yeah, I think, honestly, I think this might be maybe the third or second longest. Probably third, because I know they're going to drag the hell out of Rock, Roman, Cody, Seth. They will put that through the mud.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this has one of the potential to be a longer match. But other than that, we have 3 more matches left, and we're gonna be talking about Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. We have, and also we forget to, on commentary, we will have the one, the only CM Punk.
Yeah. Oh boy. And hey, if he wants to be a
This
special guest referee, he can still be one. He can count. He can just count with his left arm.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with any Punk involvement. I'm very sad we didn't get any, but we probably have the best Drew McIntyre there has ever been, and that's internet troll Drew McIntyre.
It's been
Which
glorious.
which even if he doesn't win, I think he officially wins, you know? Because the fact that this man is producing banger after banger is amazing. This guy is making better tweets than Antonio Brown, so that's all I care about.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
True. My God. Yeah. Throughout all this build-up, like basically ever since Drew McIntyre first interacted with CM Punk, he has just been a gold medal instigator. Like, he has been absolutely incredible with the hatred that he has shown week in and week out, and just being the biggest pain in the ass imaginable for Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and even at times, even annoying Cody at times. Like, he has been perfect at being a heel as of late, and honestly, if there's any point, especially considering that WWE is still working on the extension with Drew McIntyre, if there's any point, I feel like for him to get that moment where not only does he win the title, but this time he wins the title in front of fans, this would be the time.
And I do want to say this too. Ironically enough, CM Punk has made one of the best WrestleManias possible, and he wasn't even involved in it. He's not going to even wrestle in it.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
If CM Punk wrestles, we don't get Rock versus. We don't get what it's probably going to be billed as the greatest tag team match of all time, or as some people on Twitter maybe call it, once in a lifetime tag team match part 1, before they run this through part 2 in about 2 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, this. I think this is going to be another hard one to really predict. But what do you think?
The thing is, the thing with this is, and this has been a trend throughout Seth Rollins' entire reign, it's like, wherever you think he's gonna lose, whenever it looks like, oh, this might be the time, like, he's looking in danger here, he's like, man, his back's killing him, damn, his leg is killing him, you think he's about to lose, he doesn't. He just finds a way to keep winning. He finds a way to keep winning, he just wins, and to be fair, even with some of the frustrations I've had with moments like, especially the Nakamura feud, I do feel like Rollins overall has been a very strong champion. However, I do feel like, and I just noticed this with the storyline, there has been points where it definitely feels like Seth Rollins is overlooking Drew McIntyre, because obviously he's so focused on The Rock and Roman Reigns, he's been so focused on the bloodline that it feels like he's overlooking Drew, and I get the feeling that could be played into this match because, well, not only is Seth facing Drew, but this is gonna be on night 2. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the opening match, because why not have the opening night of night 2 kick off with a match like Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre? Honestly, Seth will definitely be wounded entering this match, considering what he did on what he will do on night 1. So honestly, and given how great his work has been as of late, his work's been through this entire build-up, and the fact that we are talking about a point in time where his contract is still up in the air, I think this is the time where WWE pulls the trigger on Drew McIntyre and they make him the champion, this time in front of fans.
I 100% agree. I think this is going to be another one where I want Seth to win, but I think Drew wins, and also too, if they do re-sign Drew McIntyre, think of it would just be perfect.
Yeah.
Because when CM Punk comes back and he is healthy again, guess who he's going straight for, and guess who's been trolling the hell out of him since he's been hurt? Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, and you could have a match like CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam or something.
Yeah, and I also get and I hate this so much, but like I also get that, Seth Rollins versus CM Punk is a literal dream match that should happen. But Seth Rollins is going to be in the business for like 10 more years down the line.
Yeah.
He's going to have plenty of time to be able to fight CM Punk. Honestly, it would be more fitting if CM Punk's last opponent ever wrestling would be Seth Rollins.
Yeah, it would be very fitting.
But yeah, honestly, I think the only thing that I would overly say is that I think that Seth sustains a quote-unquote injury during the first match, and I think this also has a chance to be a squash match where Drew McIntyre just comes out and, Claymore.
Yeah. Like, I've had that thought too, because I've also felt like, yeah, there's something that also says, like, this could very well be a squash match, because given what Seth's going through, he's overlooking Drew, he's wrestling on night 1 in a massive match that's gonna go a long time. Like, I could see WWE possibly doing something along the lines of, like, a John Cena, Brock Lesnar, SummerSlam 2014. I could see something like that, except, probably quicker than that match went. But still, like, I can see a possible squash match in the making. Aiden, you okay?
Oh shit, I'm still here.
Yeah, I know. I think Tegan's audio is having a little moment here.
Hold on. Does it sound like snoring?
It was static.
Did that fix it?
Yeah, that fixed it. It was like, holy shit. Like, that was a ton of static.
Well, regardless, it'll be a nice, funny moment for the recording.
Yeah.
Guys, the Rock got me. The Rock got me.
Yeah. Oh God, Dwayne's invading our houses now.
Yeah. Oh no. Don't make me put more blood on Mama Rose's belt.
Oh God.
But yeah, it'll also be kind of funny because obviously most of this will probably be put in anyway, but Aiden being in as a little reminder is still kind of funny, so this is great content. Regardless, despite being final boss, real quick, let's talk about the final boss.
Yes, it is time. The Bloodline, The Rock, and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth frickin' Rollins.
Is it weird to say I think this match will ultimately be better than Reigns versus Cody? Minus something I will get into later. This will be minus something I will get into later. However, for now, I think this might have the potential to be the greatest WrestleMania match ever. Period.
Yeah, it has the potential, especially from a storytelling point.
Where do we start? Like, where do we even start with this match? I mean, with this like entire storyline in general.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of points you could pick. I mean, just how it even came to happen, how, it really came to be due to injuries, and also the fact that WWE fans were revolting at the thought of Rock versus Roman Reigns, which gave us the return of Hollywood Rock. Like, my God, there's so much. There is so much that there's so much that can be said about this storyline and just this match in general.
The worst thing about this match too is that regardless of even if you think The Rock and Roman potentially like falter against Cody and Seth, you still have to take into consideration the bloodline isn't barred from ringside in this match.
Mm-hmm.
And the most terrifying thought that I've ever gotten in my mind is that Cody Rhodes gets WrestleMania 39 again.
Yeah.
That would suck the most.
It would.
And that is a very very likely outcome for this.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think?
It's just there's two directions, there's two directions they can go here, because obviously, if Rhodes and Rollins wins, then all the members of the Bloodline will be barred from ringside during the Cody versus Roman match. However, we know damn well the Bloodline aren't going to play by those rules, especially for a match where that's going to be on the line. And obviously, if Rock and Roman win, then the championship match on night 2 are held under Bloodline rules. And if I'm being completely honest here, something just tells me it's gonna be the latter. Something just tells me they're gonna go for route number 2. Because, I don't know, something, and I'll get to it in Roman versus Cody, but I just get the feeling that both of these matches, there's gonna be a shit ton of bollocks in both of these matches.
Yeah. It's there's everything. I've heard everything. I've heard, Stone Cold's gonna come night 1 and assist Cody Rhodes and Seth
Mm-hmm.
freaking Rollins. I've even heard some of the wildest of stuff that, Rikishi's gonna come in and help secure the bloodline.
Yeah.
There's so much you can do with this match.
Yeah. Dustin
This could
Rhodes,
really,
too. Dustin Rhodes.
yeah, you could have an everybody is here type match.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I feel like we'll talk more about it in the next one or the last one we do. So I think we should get our picks done right now. So,
Yeah.
well, I gotta ask you, are you rolling with the bloodline? Or are
Yeah.
you finishing your story?
Honestly, for this match only, I got the Bloodline winning, and I think Seth Rollins gets pinned.
No. I wholeheartedly agree. I think I think Bloodline Rules is 100% the way to go, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Having the Bloodline Bard at ringside will honestly makes the main event match worse.
Yeah.
You have to make your heel the strongest you've ever had for a match like this. And I think Bloodline Rules is perfect. And we talk about all of this, and it brings us to one last match. And Nick, you have the honors if I remember correctly.
Yes, I will take it because night 2 is time for the second edition of this match at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. A rematch from WrestleMania 39, which saw Cody Rhodes not be able to finish the story, much to the shock of everyone. I can tell you, nobody from who was there that night who watched Cody Rhodes take that final pin would have been able to predict where this would have headed in terms of where we are now. Because, my God, I never thought, I thought after last year that there's no way, even though it could happen again and I'd be very happy to see Cody finally get that moment, there's no way the interest would be as high. But good God, they proved me wrong. They proved me wrong in that department, and now here we are for part 2 of the Tribal Chief versus finishing the story. And my God, this is a match where it's not just a big fight feel, but it also just has the feeling where it's like, my God, anything can happen in this match. Like, there's endless possibilities here in terms of how this match is gonna go.
Yes, and I'll save it for when I have my prediction because I it occurred to me in a dream. My source is it occurred to me in a dream because I have the WrestleMania finale script in my hand and all of that. But you can really not go wrong with this. Like I said, the worst thing you can do is have it be some lamo schmamo. Bloodlines barred from ringside match.
Mm-hmm.
It's it just makes me go back to the other one because there's no way that The Rock will not be involved in some sort of way
Yep.
in night 2. It's impossible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're gonna have to have guys like The Rock involved, even Solo. He'll probably make an appearance at some point, but like it just feels like this feels like an endgame type of fight.
True. And there's the rumors. Steve Austin's gonna be there. John Cena's gonna be there. Thank God Hulk Hogan isn't gonna be there,
Yeah,
hopefully.
yeah. Hopefully.
I'm fine with him staying in his retirement home in Florida for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
But there's a lot on the line here. This is though I feel like there's no matter what, there's going to be a negative outcome, but I will think there will also be a positive outcome.
Yes.
But there's I feel like there's so much more we should talk about. Whether it comes to The Rock just full on going back to like mid to late 90s Rock and becoming the biggest jackass known to man. And it's so wonderful.
It
It is
really
so
is.
wonderful.
Like, he went from, because really for like ever since he came back in 2011 until earlier this year, The Rock would basically just be the guy who would make his great return and just do his catchphrases like a, like a freaking, just running it all down.
Like a Ric Flair.
Yeah, just, making the special appearances. It was the same script, and it would work until it doesn't work. And finally, WWE and The Rock had a moment where fans rejected him, and it brought back the greatest version of Dwayne.
And this Dwayne is just... Is it weird that he peaked in his 50s than in his 30s and 20s?
Yeah, it says something.
It's just... There is so much that can go right with this match. I think, and this isn't like in my official prediction, but I think this match could be 6 stars. I think if Mertzer decides to stop hating for one moment and doesn't wake up extra early to hate on WWE, I feel there's a strong chance he could give it a 6. But I feel like we've exhausted all of our points, and I feel like a lot of you want to know what we think. So, do you want to go first, Nick, or would you rather me go first?
I went first last time, so I'll have you go first.
Alrighty. Well, I'll start it with my completely 100% script. Okay, so the match goes on, but then, of course, it's Bloodline rules. Cody prepares for the Cody Cutter. Rock's music starts coming out of nowhere. Solo then comes in. Hits his finisher. Jimmy, after being very strong, comes in and he starts ragging on Cody. Then the first pop hits, and it's John Cena's music. John Cena comes out to help Cody. John helps try to maintain everyone, but it's not enough. Soon afterwards, the second pop music, and you hear shattering glass. Austin rolls down in his ATV and starts landing stunners, but it's still not enough. That's when the last one comes in. And that's when you hear Dustin Rhodes' music. And he runs down to the ring and helps his brother. Finally, you have evened it out. And then lastly, while everyone is completely exhausted and outside the ring, and both men are down, I think this is where finally, I think this is finally where Cody and Roman stand up, stare each other down. Cody starts a bionic elbow. And then finally, Cody hits the Cody Cutter and wins. I think there's only one way you can do this. Finish this story. It worked out the first time. It's not. Second time is not the charm. It is not. Do not let Roman Reigns take this title for another 365 days. Please, God, do not do this, Triple H. I swear, I will write you a very mean-worded letter if you do this. But yeah, my prediction: Cody wins.
Yep, and I agree with all of that. And honestly, if you wanted a perfect script for this match and how it would turn out, that's about as close to as perfect as you can get. Because it's time for Cody to finish the story. And with that being said, Cody Rhodes will defeat Roman Reigns, and finally, there will be a new, undisputed WWE champion.
That is until at the very end, The Rock decides to pull some TKO bullshit and is like, and actually, Bloodline Rule states that Roman Reigns can't lose because that's something that can just randomly happen after all that's said and done.
Oh,
But yeah, I think Cody wins.
yeah.
But yeah, this was a really productive conversation, and the way we were looking at this would probably have been our first video. We, like I said, we just finished the podcast where we went over the UFL, so it was nice to really talk about the up and coming WrestleMania pay per view with you, Nick.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But yeah, we are not good at outros, but if you enjoyed two incessive wrestling fans raving on about Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and how men throwing fists at each other was at all entertaining, hit the like bucket, hit the like button. Um, uh, Subscribe to the channel. Really helps us out. Um, have any closing statements, Nick?
Not much for me. I think that sums it up really well.
Oh, also, I did want to say this real quick. If you start taking the drug that is known as copium and hoping, and I can't believe I have to say this, and you're hoping for some dumb bullshit to happen, like Roman Reigns retaining the title, looking at a certain Twitter user right now, please, please understand. This is a story. This is not something for you to have an existential crisis about. But yes, I will be linking our Twitter in the description. Mine is Chicago Muse, spelled as it is. Yes, not Chicago Muse, Chicago Stat Muse. Nick, drop your Twitter handle.
Yeah, I will make sure to do that.
No, I mean like vocally.
Oh, oh yeah. It's Nickman, Broken Nickman 16. That's been my username ever since I made this account. So, yeah, you want to follow me? Just go right ahead.
Also, check out some of our other podcasts. They're funny-ish. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Let's hope that WrestleMania isn't bad.
Yep, absolutely.